Now, ladies and gentlemen, 2022 has been the most insane and biggest year for CSGO yet, for player base and monetary items, and of course their value anyway, not necessarily for updates. We recently discussed in my most recent CSGO commentary how updates this past year have been extremely lacking. We've gotten the bare minimum from Valve, no communication from the devs, and it seems to be the communication has only gotten worse. Situation in the game, like cheaters, have only gotten worse. But yet the game has been thriving with over 1 million players consistently throughout the past few months. And on top of that, monetary items have been skyrocketing in price. When at a time like this, when your game is dying, let's just say, or not a lot of updates, most people would think items would go down. But this past year, it's done the complete opposite and proved everyone and everything wrong. Well, as it goes for today, on New Year's Eve, we're going to take one last look at CSGO's market before heading into the new year, that being 2023.
Today's video sponsor is, of course, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a place where you can buy or instantly trade your CSGO skins for some new flashy ones. It has a modern and easy to use layout with multiple different filters, and if needed, it has a 24/7 live chat support team. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance, which can be used when you end up trading skins. If there's a skin you really want and don't have enough for it, there's an option where you can top up your balance, and if you deposit with cash, you get a 35% deposit bonus, which is very nice. This holiday season, SkinsMonkey is offering one of the best deals I've ever seen across any single trading website. They've prepared free gifts for everyone. Christmas has come early. Now, as soon as you go on, you can get one of 3 things. You can get a completely free CSGO skin of really any single value, a 45% deposit bonus, which is 10% more than normal, being a 35 usually, or of course a free balance on the site, which can be used to any item you want to trade for. The first gift is free, and others are unlocked through the trading website.
Now, I firstly want to take a look at some of the most recent majors. We are going to take a look at Rio, but there's not much to look at because it is so new, and I think it's got a few more weeks before this thing gets removed. I feel like I could go on forever talking about Antwerp because of the hype and FOMO it's had this past year. A lot of stickers, but mainly Antwerp had a lot of FOMO, a lot of random hypes as well. We saw a lot of YouTubers kind of hype and promote a lot of these stickers and a lot of these capsules. We're still seeing those people continue to do so. Not as much, but it does happen. The Rocks Hollow is getting pumped up to around $100, and while people were paying for it, I was luckily one of those people to actually get one of these through an unboxing, and I ended up selling it at that point because I didn't really see this going any higher. And that's exactly, well, what's happened at $35. As it goes to the rest of the signatures, most people thought this was going to be a great investment because these weren't really in Stockholm, because Stockholm was the first year, I believe, in a very long time we didn't get any player signatures, which is very odd. It would have been very cool, but we just didn't. And a few months later, it seems to be Antwerp has done what every other major recently hasn't been able to do, and these things have become very expensive, that being the signatures and autograph stickers. Because they're transparent, because they look good with really good holo effects, there's nothing really affordable or that can really relate or compare to this at this price at this point, so most people are wanting to go with these options. That's exactly what it's doing for most people, and that's why they're so expensive, at least compared to a lot of the other stickers. The capsules, well, it's a little shaky. These things have been hyped up like crazy as well. They've also gone up and down. They've had a lot more downs than ups. The Legends autograph capsule has been getting hyped up recently. The quantity's gone up about 4,000 or 5,000 on the market, 43 cents. This thing could go higher, but I still feel like the demand for opening this isn't as high as people are making it out to be. The rest of these are pretty good. It's just you have a lot of other options in the market, and this is also what we've seen this past year, which I'll get into pretty soon. There's just a lot of different stickers, a lot of different options at this major, which is very good. And with that, it's making a lot of affordable options for people as well. We're also going to touch on Stockholm, even though it came out in 2021, not 2022. It's just had a big hit on the market and a huge success as well. It's also extremely rare. I quickly want to touch on why certain sticker groups, sticker markets are not going up right now. This is probably a lot to do with one of the commentaries I had a couple weeks ago, where the sticker market at this moment in time is absolutely crazy. There's just too many options, to put it straightforward to you. There are thousands of different combinations you can have and hundreds of different choices and 4x combos for an extremely cheap price that look good, transparent, lenticular, hollow or not, for very affordable prices. You see, 3 years ago, people were begging for years and years and years for Stockholm and Antwerp-like stickers or something like Katowice 2014. We eventually got them in 2021. Well, those were underinvested into. Sure, there were the reasons for it, RMR or not, no one bought them. Antwerp is the complete opposite, but they're still pretty underinvested considering there's other majors out there that are way more invested into. Even though we haven't seen the success that Stockholm probably should have had, and that's something I talked about recently as well, where Stockholm probably should have been 3 times the price as it is right now. It's just there's so many options, right? You have Antwerp, you have Rio, you have even things like RMR if you don't like the non-transparent background. You have the 10th anniversary capsule, you have the boardroom sticker capsule, you have the Battlefield 2042 sticker capsules. There's just so many different options. And now, of course, going into Stockholm 2021, here we go. These stickers have been going absolutely crazy this past few weeks. Now, are they they going to continue keep going up? Are they worth it? I would say so. I love them. I've been crafting with them since the day they came out. I'm one to have crafted an entire inventory with these before the sticker sale even went on. So I was paying almost 2 times the prices you're seeing for some of these to create a whole inventory. Stupid or not, I just love them. They look extremely good, but most importantly is this number right here, the quantity. Not just for this one, for all of them. They're extremely low, and well, the same thing is to go with the caps. It's a little too low, some may say, and that's why I think there's probably a couple hundred more thousand of these things we see on the market, especially for some of these capsules, and most likely some of these stickers. There's a lot more than what we're seeing on here, across third-party sites, across other people's inventories, maybe even crafts, and of course storage units. These things have been extremely successful this past few months, and probably will continue to in 2023. The only thing that I think is going to somewhat stop it or slow it down is another release of transparent stickers, maybe in the Paris Major, or maybe even something a little better, like lenticular stickers. I think these things are going to continue to go up. Same thing with Antwerp. It's just a matter of time and when. When these things start getting extremely expensive, we'll start to see Antwerp go up. That's how it's going to go, and will continue to be like that for the history of CSGO. Now, as we're about to exit the IEM Rio 75% off sale, there's a few things I wanted to note on it. My feelings and thoughts towards these things have changed and shifted a little bit. I don't hate them as much as I did at the very beginning, but I'm still not a huge fan of them. And I think the reason I and many other people are not, can't speak for everybody, is because the past 2 majors, that being Stockholm and Antwerp, are the 2 best major stickers we've ever seen in CSGO history, at least for a lot of us anyway. I know a lot of us haven't been around since Katowice 2014. I was, but didn't buy any back then. Same goes with a lot of other people. It's hard to top the past 2 majors, right? It's like going for an artist, for example, from their best album. What are you supposed to do after that? You have to release something, and no matter what it is, people are not going to like it. And that's what Valve did. They tried something a little different, a little something new. We didn't enjoy it. Here we are. Now, do I think they're going to be underinvested into? Probably, yes. But now that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be a good investment per se. I think these things are going to be bought for a certain audience. It's kind of like DreamHack 2014 or Cologne 2014. These aren't the most popular stickers in the game. Yes, they have their teams here and there, and with time, they're going to go up no matter what, especially if they're rare. That's just how CSGO works and supply and demand, but they're just not that great compared to the other competition out there. Where I think this thing is going to really shine is, of course, the gold stickers. I think they look really good. I think they're really rare. They are very hard to get, and depending on how many people buy these capsules and certain individual stickers, I think they could be a decent, solid investment, but only time will tell. Quickly, I'll note on souvenir packages. These things have been absolutely destroyed this past year, and I don't see them changing anytime soon. As it goes for an investment, they're absolutely gone. Souvenirs were once a thing, were absolutely great. To give you an example, the Op Dragon Lore has a little less at this point of IEM Rio 2022 gold arabesques in the Dust 2 collection, which is just absolutely crazy. And yes, these things are only a couple months old, and the Dragon Lore dropped for a few years. That's absolutely nuts. That's just to give you an example and show you how meaningless these things really are. It's just printing your own money. You can buy as many as you want in the shop, even for maps that are removed halfway through the major, or at least the update when it's still on the shop, that being Dust 2. Now, getting into the talk of majors, we're going to talk about cases now and the effect these have had on the market this past year. So only 2 cases have dropped this past year, which has been absolutely crazy as well. I think it's a record low. Usually Valve has dropped 3 to 4 sometimes in a year, sometimes even more. The Dreams and Nightmares and Recoil came second, and that was the last release, of course. 2 decent cases. They weren't the worst in the world. The Dreams and Nightmares case was definitely more of a nightmare itself than anything else, more than the actual branding of it. The skins in it were pretty bad. There were a lot better of options they could have used, but they ended up choosing all the ones that are in here for whatever reason, and people just weren't happy with that. But the most important thing to note with both of these cases are, of course, their active duty prices. The Dreams and Nightmares case came at the very beginning of 2022, and it's still almost pushing that 57-60 cent mark, which is just nuts. The Recoil case is a little over 5 months, and it's still at 66 cents. That's just something you don't see nowadays, or at least used to not see. I think this is slowly becoming the new norm. As long as we have as many people that are playing CSGO right now, for the next few years, we're not going to see cases anymore go probably below 30 cents in the active duty drop pool. It just wouldn't make any sense for them to do so. At least the newer ones anyway. Maybe even all of them eventually. We don't know. We're just opening these and investing into them faster than we're obtaining them, which obviously that's how supply and demand works, which is obviously bumping up the price. And lastly, as it goes for skins, it's been crazy as well. Probably the most insane out of everything else. Knives have had the most insane hype I've ever seen in my entire life in existence in the CSGO scene. Knife investments were once a thing where you would buy one, hold it with a play skins investment for a couple years. Hopefully it would go up maybe $100, especially if it was that over $500-600 mark. Now, if you're even in that $100 budget for CSGO, my best budget knives, that series I had on my channel for $100, $200, $300, those are now all outdated. I have to remake them because they're all outdated knives. You were able to get $200 knives nowadays for under $100 just a few months back. Same thing with skins. The skins market is going insane due to a lot of things like the player base, player count, but a huge thing people don't discuss is a bunch of renting sites in China came to be a huge thing this past year as well. I think a lot of people like to forget Upin when that came out in March of 2022. This was pretty big. It boosted up the skins market a whole lot, and we thought that was FOMO, and it was not. Let me know what you guys think. I think I've covered mostly everything. There's a few things I think I left out, but for good reason. They were recent, not 100% sure on them. I could even make a part 2, a little more in depth, the skin side of things, and if you guys want that, I can definitely do so. Let me know what you guys think. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.